me to revisit the idea of Mark of the Beast?
I do.
Mark of the Beast was an interesting remote viewing topic. All of the topics in Revelation and in the Bible and in many of the older, not necessarily apocalyptic texts, but the prophets of old, the true prophets, who didn't volunteer to be prophets, they were called upon. We remote viewed that years ago, and actually I spent a lot of time on it myself. And I stand by what the results are. Anybody who's trained in even some of the intermediate remote viewing skills that we teach can be taught to discern the same results. And that is an AIDS vaccine. The Mark of the Beast turns out to be an AIDS vaccine. Somebody 2,500 years ago was looking 2,500 years in the future, and that particular idea is what the only way that they conceptualize it 2,500 years ago was to call it the Mark of the Beast.
But I guess I don't understand. If it's an AIDS vaccine, why would it even conceptually be thought of as a Mark of the Beast? An AIDS vaccine would be a good thing, right?
I don't want to get into it because it's such a controversial thing, Art. It deals...
Are you saying it's going to be an AIDS vaccine gone wrong? Is that where you're going?
That I can talk about. I can't talk about what's behind the idea of the Mark of the Beast. Not on the air. It's too controversial. But, yes, what happens is that the people who accept the Mark of the Beast break out in woesome sores. That's what Revelation says. They break out in woes. Woe be the mother who gives suck to her child if she takes the Mark of the Beast, because the child will die. Essentially, it's an AIDS vaccine that is not proven, and it does result in causing injury to people that take it. Okay. And I'm afraid that we are heading toward a real possibility of nations forcing this, not forcing it in terms of holding you down and shooting you up with it, but if you do not have a mark on your ID card or your driver's license saying that you've had this inoculation, you're not going to be able to get a job, or you're not going to be able to go to certain places or get a passport, or you'll be ostracized, excommunicated. You won't be able to conduct commerce of any type. You won't be able to get a job. So the vaccine, it goes wrong, and that's what the prophets of old were saying, is that many people are forced to accept the Mark of the Beast, but woe be them and those people that do that, because they break out in woesome sores. The vaccine goes wrong. It's not proven.
Well, vaccines have been known to go wrong, indeed, and they keep, we keep getting news blurbs and flashes about a possible AIDS vaccine, and the story is big for a day or two, and then it goes away, and you never hear about it again. I bet I've heard 50 of those, Ed, since we've been aware of AIDS. We've got one, or we've just about got one, and the story always goes away.